tired of society's expectations, where your value is tied to shiny visible accolades. If your wins can't fit into a LinkedIn headline, a resume bullet point, or a flashy Instagram story, they barely count. You're supposed to chase brand names, fancy titles, and impressive labels, and then act like it's all purely about passion and impact. At the same time, the same voices that yell, "Enjoy your 20s," also whisper, "If you don't set yourself up now, you'll regret it forever." So you're expected to always be locked in, have something going on. If not, you're falling behind. So, what's next? They ask. They won't take "I don't know" or "I'm still figuring it out" for an answer. These people are also the ones to dismiss mental health struggles or how they had it harder. I grew up thinking that you should work hard, be kind, and follow the rules, and that eventually life will be at least somewhat proportional. But the older I get, the stuff that I've seen as a former first-generation immigrant student, the more I see how much life is determined by where you start. Your family, your passport, your body, your face, your network. And in this system, if you don't fit into the criteria, rich, attractive, and being useful to capitalism, you start to wonder if you are a person or a product. Well, at least that was how I felt, because everything feels transactional and performative, and nowhere is that feeling clearer than this job market. I'm tired of explaining how hard it is to get a job to people who never had to navigate this version of it. If you never had to pivot careers in your 20s or 30s, never live in a world of online applications and silent rejections, it's hard to fully understand. People say, just apply more or go in and hand them your resume. Just network. Just be confident. They don't see the spreadsheet of applications sent with no response. They don't see the calendar packed with awkward coffee chats that feels like auditions, only to end in silent despite using referrals. They don't see how many times you tweaked your resume, rewrite the same cold messages, and try not to sound desperate. For some people, stability came from graduating at the right time, knowing someone at the right company, or fitting neatly into a path people already respect. For others, everything feels like a negotiation. Your pay, your time, your identity, your sanity. Trying to pivot into a new industry, a new role, or a city feels like starting from zero, while being told you should already be at 10. Entry-level jobs ask for 3 to 5 experiences for a pay that would only allow you to live paycheck to paycheck. The whole process and economy is fucked up. It's a humiliation ritual, and only people who have applied in this market would truly understand this. And just when the pressure isn't enough, another voice comes in. Why aren't you dating? Where's your boyfriend? How do I explain that I'm tired of that system too? How do I explain to them that I'm tired of breadcrumbing, ghosting, ego feeding, and situationships that pretend not to be relationships? It feels like everyone is shopping from an endless catalog, always wondering if there's a better option 2 swipes away. And you know what's funny? We all say we care about personality, values, and depth, and maybe we do. But if we're honest, many of us are still drawn to the same visible markers. Are you attractive? Are you put together? Are you financially stable and socially impressive? Well, that's the ideal partner who looks good standing next to you in public, and the character that everyone wants. And then the job market and the dating market starts to feel like a twin system. You're constantly pitching yourself. You're told to know your worth while others quietly negotiate it down. You're told not to take rejection personally, but the rejection feels personal. You begin to ask, am I not enough? Or is the system designed so that no one ever feels like enough? And then there are dreams. Dreams. I'm tired of how we talk about them. As kids, we're told to dream big, to cure diseases and hunger, create innovations, and change the world. We write essays about it, teachers smile, and parents brag. Then you grow up, you see the loans, the burnout, the bureaucracy, the instability. You realize that saving the world doesn't always pay rent, at least not quickly. So you pivot, and then you're criticized. Oh, so you're chasing the bag now? and how the so-called American dream is still called a dream for a reason. It's clear when your eyes are closed. When you open them, you see the rich getting richer. The poor stay hustling, and the middle and working class taking the heaviest hits. My former Ivy League classmates mostly went into quant, banking, consulting, and tech, not because they're evil as proclaimed by people not in those fields, but because that's where the ladders are. And it's interesting how people outside those industries often criticize the people inside them, yet many eventually end up working for the same companies they once mocked. The system is structured in a way that either you chase power from the inside or serve it from the outside. And somehow you're judged either way. Sometimes selling out is just choosing not to struggle forever. Sometimes pivoting isn't greed, it's survival and being real with what you want. Sometimes it's about wanting a life where you can actually rest. And I was hesitant to create this video because when you share how you actually feel, there are risks. What a world we live in. Since we live in a culture where if you voice dissatisfaction, someone will immediately respond with, at least you. At least you went to a good school. At least you're not starving. At least you have opportunities other people don't. I'm tired of being told to be grateful as a way to shut me up. Grateful is beautiful when it's genuine, but gratitude without honesty is just suppression with a smiley face sticker. You can't be grateful and still exhausted. You can be thankful and still say, this hurts. And I am grateful, truly. But I'm tired of gratitude being used to silence discomfort. I'm tired of shrinking my pain to make others feel comfortable. Tired of pushing my priorities and feelings aside because other people have it worse. And here I am. I'm tired. I'm tired of pretending this system makes sense. I'm tired of being told to smile and trust the process when the process is biased, corrupt, and imperfect. But if I stop here, it's just a rant, and my life and yours deserves more than a rant. I'm wondering, what does the next chapter look like? Maybe it's about building skills not to prove I'm worthy, but to create more choices. Maybe it's about refusing to pretend everything is fine just because it looks fine on paper. Maybe it's about designing a life that doesn't constantly require self-abandonment just to survive. I don't have a neat 5-step framework. This isn't a solution. It's a snapshot that I want to share. A bookmark in the middle of the story. I'm tired, but I'm still here. And if you're tired too, tired of expectations, of pretending, you're not alone. Maybe the next chapter starts with telling the truth about this one, and then slowly and stubbornly choosing to write something different. Stay tuned for the next chapter.